What if I told you that your mood isn't just a feeling? It's chemistry in motion. Every emotion you have has its own chemical cocktail being mixed in real time. The question is, what are you sipping on? So today, we're stepping into your inner lab to discover why mastering your emotional state, your mood, is truly your superpower. And not only are you going to find out the ways to shift your mood, but you're going to find out the five most powerful reasons why you need to know this information. So stay tuned. Let's get going. Check out the two beverages that I have right here. One of them has one concoction, the other has another concoction. They do very different things in our body. One is poison, and the other, it's this youthful elixir for us, keeping us alive longer, doing all sorts of amazing things for us. But which one do you choose to drink every single day? One of them is a poisonous cocktail. It floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline, with feelings of being stressed, anxiety, depression, rapid heartbeat, aging, and even immune suppression. While the other, it's a fountain of youth elixir. It boosts your oxytocin, the dopamine, the serotonin, all those feel goods, and it strengthens your immune system, stabilizing your emotions, and even adds years to your life. Now, here's the twist on this. Every single day, we decide which one of these we're going to drink. Your emotions are the chemistry that your body runs on. And when you shift your mood, you actually shift your chemistry. So you're either drinking poison or you're drinking a fountain of youth elixir. The choice is up to you. The choice is up to me. But how do we know what we're drinking and how do we change it? Okay, well, step into my lab because I want to introduce you to 9 of the most well-known neurotransmitters and hormones that make up these chemical cocktails that we are drinking. And although you may know these, let's just take a quick little review of what they actually do in our body and in our mind. First on deck is our friend oxytocin. Oxytocin is that love hormone. It's all about connection and well-being. We know a couple of those emotions that have to do with high oxytocin. We're going to reveal those in just a second. The next is dopamine. That is about motivation and about pleasure. This is our feel-good hormone. Yeah, who doesn't want a little bit of dopamine, right? The next one is serotonin. Serotonin is our stability. It is like that mood balancer. It is like the calm. Like we want to have that serotonin to be able to relax all of our organs. Then there's adrenaline. The adrenaline, oh, so important when we need it, right? That's arousal and action. That's that get up and go, that surge when we need it. The next one is GABA. Oh, GABA is all about relaxation, and that is like that calming shield that we need in our life. Then there's endorphins. Oh, we love endorphins. When we exercise, etc., it's that feel good, but it's also that pain reliever, that painkiller that comes out. Our next one is cortisol. That is our stress response. That's our stress hormone, and you can even see from his face, he is not a happy guy. The next one is norepinephrine. This is our focus and our attention and the alertness. So then rounding out, it's the testosterone. This is our drive and our energy and our catalyst and our confidence. Those are the 9 that we're showing right now. And there are a lot more. This is not a comprehensive list. But these are the ones that mix together in different ways, come up with the different emotions in our body. And it's funny, you can have 2 things if you switch the role. One is high and one's low. You get one emotion and you switch it another way, and it's a totally different emotion. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take anger. High in cortisol and high in adrenaline. They're both up there. When anger flares, your body is surged with adrenaline and cortisol, those chemicals that are built for battle. It charges your focus and it supercharges your strength for a moment. But that same surge that ignites action scorches your system if it stays around too long. Let's look at fear, high in cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. Fear is adrenaline symphony, your body's ancient alarm system, the siren, exhaustion and anxiety, and a hijacked immune system. What about hopelessness? When hope fades, the brain dials down dopamine and serotonin and the chemistry of motivation and optimism. Energy sinks, your outlook narrows, your body shifts into conservation mode. When you have chronic hopelessness, it tells every single cell to just give up way too soon. Loneliness is the silent stress signal. Loneliness tricks the body into thinking it's unsafe. Oxytocin plummets while cortisol rises, turning isolation into inflammation. Connection, that's medicine for us. It's a sad, sad emotion. Now, those were some of the poison emotions that just don't do our body good if they're in sustained amounts. Are we ever going to feel these things? Of course we are. The point is we don't want to stay there. The value behind being able to state change is to be able to get ourselves and our minds and our bodies out of these alarm systems from these places where we are literally poisoning our bodies into a different state. Now, what are some of those higher emotions that do our body good? Love and connection. That's the bonding elixir. Love releases oxytocin and dopamine and serotonin. That's the trinity of trust and pleasure and peace. Each heartbeat syncs with calm. Each hug rewires safety in our nervous system. And love slows aging. Yeah. Gratitude, that's the brain rewiring agent. Every thank you is like this microdose of dopamine and serotonin. Gratitude teaches your reticular activating system, that's the place in your brain that notices things. It teaches it to notice things of joy and positive things. And after a while, it rewires our neural networks instead of the what am I lacking in my life to oh my gosh, look at all I have. Now, what about the emotion of peace and calm? That's the cellular Zen spa. When calm, the body exhales chemically. GABA and serotonin rise, and that cortisol falls. Breathing slow, when our body is giving that time to relax, it's actually elongating our life, allowing it a time of repair. Now, confidence, empowerment, that's the inner superpower. Confidence isn't bravado, it's actual chemistry. Every small win, it resets your hormonal thermostat towards courage and clarity and that creative flow. Now, think about the difference of those emotions versus the first four. How many of you have ever gone through a soda drive-through? That's where they have the dirty soda, meaning soda pop, and they have all these fun additives. There's these flavors, there's these creams, there's this dulce de leche, and energy drinks that they mix a little bit at a time. So each one is concocted to be like its own little journey. I know I had one that was called a drama queen. Oh my gosh. Yes, the base was an energy drink. And yes, there was dulce de leche, but lots of other things that kind of spiked it up. It had its own distinct flavor. But each one is strategically mixed to create an experience. It's just the same in our mind and our body. Our emotions are energy in motion. And if we want to change our emotions, we just need to start moving the energy in a different way. Okay, listen careful, because I'm going to give you the 5 big reasons why we need to learn state control. Why this is like the power hitter of the year. If there's any of these videos that you needed to be watching, it's absolutely this one. Are you ready? Number 1, your state is everything. It determines your story and it determines your strategy. When you're in a state of anxious or frustration, your brain literally loses its ability to problem solve, its creativity, its empathy. But then when we can go into calm, relaxation, it's like we come out of the limbic brain and we go into the prefrontal cortex. That lights up and imagination comes back, creativity, the problem solving, and our communication skills come back online. That's the first one. The second reason why we should learn how to state control is because your biochemistry follows your emotions. So when the oxytocin and the dopamine and the cortisol and the serotonin and the oxytocin, when they flood our bodies, if we stay in times of stress and fear, we're in chemicals that are suppressing our body, literally aging us faster, making it harder for our organs to work. And even if you're young, a time will come when you're like, whoa, I don't even feel good. But when we step into those higher emotions, we bring health and less inflammation and all those feel good hormones and neurotransmitters. Number three, because emotions are contagious. Yeah, you can catch emotions from somebody else, right? Your personal vibration just doesn't affect you, it affects everybody around you. When you can regulate your state, you elevate everybody around you. That's why parents and educators and teachers, when they know how to regulate state, they transform classrooms and teams and families. It is a skill to know how to regulate your state, which then influences everyone around you. Number four, state change is power in motion. It's that moment when you stop being acted upon and you start acting, whether through it's any of these tools that I'm now going to tell you about, you utilize. Every time you change your state, you tell your body and your mind who's in charge. Because honestly, sometimes we just let the mind and the body do their own thing. No, we decide. And number five, and it comes with the story, we need to be powerful with our ability to state control because awareness can break the loop. Most people live in these unconscious emotional loops. They wonder why, how come when I'm driving home from work, I'm always in an ornery mood, or when I go to the third period with that teacher, I always feel so incompetent. There's situations in our life where we step into this emotion, and because it's so habitual, our body has become so used to creating that chemical cocktail that it just starts creating it. And the chemicals create the emotion, and the emotion creates the chemicals. So it's like, is the cart before the horse or horse before the cart? When we habitually step into an emotion, we are actually training our body chemistry to just go ahead like clockwork and create it. Now, how do I know that? Beyond studying about it, I had a young man that was staying in my home. I came from a very traumatic home life, or so he said, but there was a lot of yelling and drama in their life. That's not how I was raised. But I started noticing that in the afternoons, he would come in and try to pick a fight with me. Now, understand that fighting sometimes is a way to get a dopamine hit because there's just like this excitement that goes along with it. Well, after a while, I saw the pattern happening, and I could almost predict it like 3 o'clock every afternoon. He was going to come in and pick a fight with me. Well, I decided to not engage, number one, but number two, start reflecting back what I was seeing with him. After a while, he was open to the fact that, whoa, this was a chemical that was started surging like on a clock, like, oh, it's time for a dopamine hit. Let's pick a fight. Through awareness, through utilizing some of these skills that I'm going to give you in a second, change and break that loop. Now, there's more than those 5 powerful reasons, but those are powerful enough. But most important, do we want to be in charge of our life? Yeah, we can let life do this. We can go with the winds, or we can decide, no, I actually decide how I'm going to feel, what I think, what I believe, and where I want to go. And being able to change my mood, change my state is a superpower that I need to have in my toolkit. There are a lot of different things that we can do. But I'm going to give you a bunch that are mind driven and then some that are body driven. Why is that? Because the mind and body are so interconnected. But if you even had like 2 of each, 2 in the mind, 2 in the body, you will have the ability to shift your mood. And then try shifting your mood and see how it affects everybody else around you. You ready? Here we go. Now I'm going to be honest. Level Up, this empowerment curriculum that I have, has a chapter with over 60 different ways that you can do this. I'm just going to give you a bunch of those today. So I hope you have a piece of paper, or you're going to come back and write this down. Here you go. Here is mind-centric tools that you can utilize to be able to change your state. First one, reframe the story. Reframe the scenario like, what else could be happening here? I'm seeing it this way, but if I get curious about it, what are some other things? Even sometimes even making up a different story for it. Have you ever been in traffic and somebody gets in line in front of you and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. Or you reframe that, go, oh my gosh, they probably had somebody in a hospital and they're trying to get there. Just by reframing that, our emotion just kind of goes, whew, and we can go from one mood to the next. So reframe the story. The second one is a gratitude focus. Don't go, oh, come on. Yeah, no. Gratitude is probably one of the most powerful emotions you can go into. And just even stepping into three things, and there's a gazillion things that we can all be grateful for, but just change it like, okay, for a second, I'm going to focus on the things I am grateful for. That can change your state. Another one is step into affirmations, but ones that make sense to you. So, for example, if you are agitated or nervous, you can't say, I am calm, I am calm, I am calm, I am calm. Your brain is going to go, you are not calm. What are you doing? Don't feed me lies here. No, what? You're trying to sabotage me. But you can say, I am becoming calm. My heart is slowing down. My breath work is regulating. I can already feel the zen coming into my body. Do you see what I mean? So use affirmations that feel close. I am becoming. I am doing. This is happening. I look forward to any of those. Next brain tool, laughter. Either watch something or remember something that you know is so funny. I have a story. I remember when my sister and I were together with my dad in my car and they went to switch places and my sister got in the front. My dad went to get in the back and my sister and I took off without him, not knowing. And we were a mile down the road before we even realized he wasn't even in the car. We had to go back and find him. Oh my gosh. It may not be funny to you, but every time I think about it, I just laugh. But that to me elevates my mood and it gets me out of the current mood that I'm in. So think of that funny thing that you can bring up or have something funny that you can watch. My all-time favorite is a music reset. I hope you have a playlist, that music list you have that you know the words to every single song. You could sing them out loud. You could dance them. You step into that playlist, put that on. Music is a powerful mood shifter. Okay, that's just a teaser of the brain. Now let's go to the body. I think the most powerful thing you can do is breath work. Did you know that there is a breath pattern for every single emotion that there is? I mean, try it yourself right now. You can like go into fear. That is high up here, but relaxed. When you change the way you breathe, you actually change your emotions. So when you inhale fewer than you exhale, you're calming down the body. Or if you're lethargic and you need more energy, you inhale more and exhale less. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6, hold for 2. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6, hold for 2. Super powerful. Breath work you can do anywhere. Another thing you do is just movement. If you've been sitting for a little while, want to change your body chemistry, get up and go for a walk, go for a run, go for a dance, whatever you want to do. Anytime we're stuck in our life, if we put movement into it, it's symbolic and literal, right? It starts the movement happening in our life. Now, here's another one. You may not like this one, but cold exposure. Yeah, splash cold water on your face or put your hands in cold water. It engages the parasympathetic system. That is the rest and digest, and it calms you down. It is a mood changer and actually refreshing. Try it. The next one is a power pose. Maybe it's like Wonder Woman, maybe it's Superman, whatever it is, just changing your posture. When your chest is up and your head is up, it's harder to be sad or languishing than if we're curled over in a ball, right? So just change your posture. Stand up if you're sitting down, move around. Now, my other favorite one is grounding. If you're not familiar with grounding, I'll put down in the notes one of my YouTube videos on grounding. That's putting your feet on Mother Earth. I love to put it in grass, right? No socks and shoes. That's not grounding. Barefoot against the grass, because then you can connect with the electromagnetic of the earth. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And then if you envision just dumping that emotion that you're feeling, that anger, the frustration, the fear, whatever it is, into the earth, and then envision pulling back up something that you want to become. That calm, that relaxation, that appreciation, all of those really good feels. You may say, yeah, right. Is that going to work? Unless you try it, you are not going to know the miracles that you have been missing out on. Grounding. Watch the other YouTube in case you have not seen it before. Now, these last three they're just kind of like checks on your body. So, for example, sometimes dehydration mimics anxiety. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to drink water because your body is dehydrated. And so that takes you into a different emotional state. If you're tired, especially, drink lots of water first. You may be dehydrated. The other body check is nutritionally. What are you eating? Are you eating high sugars? They pretty much hijack the brain. Are you eating a lot of processed foods? Think about, man, what did I just eat today? Guys, this really is the physiology before the psychology. If we want our brains and our minds and our emotions to work, we got to do the work on our bodies. We've got to treat them better than we do our cars. What are we ingesting? Now, the third body piece is sleep. Sometimes just taking a nap, even if it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes max, just lay down. Sometimes that can be the mood changer that we need, right? And are we getting the sleep we need? If you're a teenager and you're only getting 5 hours of sleep a night, not cutting it. Even if you're an adult, are we getting 7 hours? That is the repair. And if you join us for Level Up, oh, there is some incredible brain stuff to know about the sleep cycle. Oh, once you know it, it's like, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed right now. I hope you'll join us until you learn it. So those are some of the body hacks. So if you just learn a couple of the brain hacks, a couple of the body hacks, I think I mentioned in Level Up, I have one chapter that has over 60 ways to take control. But there are other things that we can do to be able to meet the brain where it's at, to put empowerment back into our hands. Hey, we can decide. Conscious creation is all about learning empowerment. What do I have control of? What do I don't have control of? And the things that we are empowered to do when we learn how the brain works and we learn what we can do to step away from all the distractions of the world and actually go the direction we want, it frees us up to live in the prefrontal cortex, which then awakens our dreams, our visions, our passions. We can start living that life instead of reacting to life and drinking poison instead of the elixir of youth. We truly are the chemists of our bodies. And instead of having to worry about, oh, how much do I put in that? Just step into a state control and the body will follow suit. It's incredible. And this is so powerful. If there's any episode you needed to watch, it was this one. I hope you're going to try these, guys. If you do, put it down in the remarks. I'd love to see what you're trying. And your ideas. What do you do to change your state and bring that power back into your life? Every emotion mixes a chemical cocktail. Choose your ingredients wisely. Mood is just chemistry waiting for your direction. So what are you waiting for? Let's create the mood and the state that we want and watch our life change. All right, guys, can't wait to share with you again next week. And remember, you're just one breath, one movement, one thought away from changing your chemistry. Happy lab work, guys. See you next week. Tally ho.